Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread!
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread!
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Now, Two Pigeons and Coach Prime bemoaning the fact you can stream DirecTV satellite-free.
Look at these humans watching pro football on DirecTV without a satellite dish.
I've been watching them watch football for so long, I feel like I could coach like you, Coach Prime.
Coaching ain't as easy as finding your games on DirecTV. How you gonna beat a corner blitz on 3rd and long?
I'd probably just fly over it.
Actually, that's pretty good.
Stream football without a satellite dish. Visit DirecTV.com.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
Oh, such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com's primetime kickoff event. Save up to 50% off select styles, plus doorbusters. Rules and restrictions may apply.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will trade in her office job to become the leader of a pack of dogs. As the owner of her own dog rescue, that is. A second act made possible by the reskilling courses Lisa's taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. And she can finally run with the big dogs. And the small dogs, who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/skills.
Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Derek Crew, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. And a lot of you probably didn't hear that last week. Me and Chops had a killer show, and Apple iTunes let us down. It let down the millions. You know what it is. They let down the people out there.
And the people consist of the millions.
I mean, I got people hitting me up left, right, and center. Oh, crew, can't get the pod. Where's the pod? I can't get it on iTunes. I don't see it. It's just this little clip. What the heck's going on? I wish I could tell you, because every other platform had the Koolaid Cast. People that listen on Spotify, listen on the app, listen on all the other platforms. No problem whatsoever. They're drinking Kool-Aid. Drink it in, man. Double-sided cornbread.
Cornbread!
No issues at all. The biggest platform we got, the place where most of you listen, the millions and millions, doesn't upload our show, doesn't respond when I reach out to them. I uploaded it again. They didn't fix the issue. I refreshed the feed. Didn't fix the issue. Finally get somebody. They don't know what the problem is. They can't fix it. Absolutely unbelievable. So you guys missed a great show. If you listen on iTunes, please go find that show on Spotify. Me and Chops still trying to dial in Choppy Chops audio. He's using different mics. He's traveling the country. He forgets a chord here and there. He has bula takes, whatever it is. But other than the audio quality and chops just being chops, we had a great show. I mean, we laughed, we ranted, we told stories, we talked ball, we hype after that Seattle win. So absolutely incredible. Just very frustrated that show didn't get out to everybody. This is going on 5-6 years now of doing the pod, and I very rarely, I want to say maybe a week or two here or there, over the 6 years have taken a week off here or there, have never, I don't think we've ever really clunked up a show where like we upload the wrong audio file or we did something wrong and it didn't upload. This is like one of the only times where we didn't screw it up, but Apple iTunes screwed it up. And that leads me to a quick rant before I get into the lines. Like, what is up with customer service not having a clue what's going on? Your name is customer service. The only thing your title says that you need to do is serve the customer. Have you guys ever called up a store, a restaurant, tech, anything, asking for help, and the customer service department cannot help you, cannot fix the problem, cannot give you answers, will not give you your money back, will not take the item back, will not fix the problem? What are they paying these people for? Seriously, I don't understand. I have the worst luck with customer service people. I'm as nice as could be. I try to tell them, let them take their time. Hey, appreciate you. Until they start not helping and getting just, you can tell they don't know what they're doing. And then I flip the switch and just turn on these people because you're the anti-customer service. You're not helping me. You're not a aid to the customer. So that's what I feel about Apple iTunes right about now. Who knows? They probably won't put this show up now, but we'll see what happens. So with that off my chest, and again, if you didn't get the show, go to another platform, download it, check it out, listen later. But don't turn the dial now because you got Oakrey Solo here on the Koolaid Cast talking about those lines. How about those lines? And I got tons and tons to talk about. This is going to be a fun show. I know a lot of you are shocked out there, but I have literally no notes. I have nothing in front of me. I'm not prepared whatsoever, but that's what makes the best pods. And I don't have to prepare to talk about the Detroit Lions here on the Koolaid Cast. So let's just get into news and notes real quick. I have missed a couple Dan freaking Campbell press conferences, but you know what he's saying, looked at ourselves in the bye week, self-scouted. I think I heard him say the other day that he needs to increase his communication with his coaches and his players. Last time I checked, isn't Dan Campbell's strength the way that he communicates with his coaches and players? So that seemed like a non-answer, no answer to me. Dan Campbell knows his team is sitting well. 3-1. Shouldn't have lost to Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay, but he did somehow. Took care of business in the other 3 games. And this game coming up, which I'm going to get to after the commercial break, I got lots to say about it, has been circled for a long time against the Dallas Cowboys. This is a revenge game. This is a big-time game. 4:25, primetime Sunday. Tom Brady on the call. Dan freaking Campbell has got something for the Dallas Cowboys, both scheme, play calling. It's going to get ugly, folks. He's going to do everything he can to bury this football team, and I'll get to that later. But, the players are getting back. Hey, took a little time off. Hear the cliches. Oh, it was the best time for our bye week. Really? Week 5 was the best time for you to get bye week? Well, we think it really worked out for us so we can get healthy. When have you not heard an NFL team say that? I swear, they could have the bye week on week 2. You would hear that same cliche coming from coaches and players. It was not a good time overall for the bye. You don't want it week 5. You want it in about week 8, 9, 10-ish. You don't want it in 12 through, whatever, but you want it in the middle of the season, of course, when you get that nice break. Nobody needs a break after 4 games when they've been waiting all offseason to get playing ball, and then you got to play, 17, 13 plus games in a row with some holiday and some prime times mixed in. That's not what you want. But anyway, what was good that came from the bye week is, like I said, the Lions are 3-1. Really, just in summary of what our last show was, me and Chops just hyping it up about how I was so excited for that Seattle game. I really was. I was tuned up for it. I wanted to beat that team badly. Monday Night Football, black jerseys, everything rolling was absolutely incredible. And it lived up to every single bit of it. I mean, you had Ben Genius out there doing his thing.
Ben Johnson, I love you. Ben Johnson, you are my hero.
Calling whoopsie-doo, triple gazoo, around the back, double Fernum Schnavitz throws to Jared Goff for touchdowns, dialing up our run game to Demo. Is Demo, by the way, everybody out there. You got Gibbs doing his thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, Dan freaking Campbell, Brad Holmes, the offensive line were like, man, this guy's a multi-dimensional, positionless. Wait for it. Elite weapon. And they were like, let's get this guy the ball, both, the run game, the pass game, let him score some touchdowns rather than give him all the demo, faux show, the skull from the toe, doing his thing. So I loved everything about that game, and we won that game without my boy, Brian Branch. Frank Ragnow in the middle, other guys on the outside, linebacker, safety, whatever it may be, we got it done. So word from Dan Campbell is that BB, my boy Brian Branch, is back ready to go. It sounds like Frank Ragnow always sounds like he's ready to go, yet they kind of give him, what do they call it in the NBA, like time, game management, or some type of rest, weird name they have for rest. Like Frank Ragnow gets a lot of that when he gets dinged up. So I heard somebody say he might not play or might hold him out, or we're not sure. I feel like Frank Ragnow is playing unless he's not playing, and I sure hope he's playing. Derek Barnes, horrible first name spelling, but good football player, really physical, really coming into his own. He's going to be out for, I think Dan Campbell said maybe the whole season, with where he got chopped at the knees. What was that, in Arizona by Trey McBride? That was definitely not a great play that you want to see out there on the football field, but kind of blocked him right at his knees, took him out. It gives Jack Campbell, Revord, more opportunities, but you need Fabio, you need Revord, you need Derek Barnes, you need Rodrigo. That was the live version, by the way. Here's the sound drop.
Rodrigo.
You need him. You need Jalen Reeves Maven, which is some reason called Germ. I still don't know if it's JRM or GRM or what's going on there with that nickname, but it is what it is. You need all those guys out there do their thing. So missing Derek Barnes could hurt. I mean, it's no longer iffy with Iffy. I think Dan Campbell said he ain't going to be back for a long time. They don't know what's going on with this guy. He's not ready to go again. I mean, I think I did an injury rant a while back, a week or two ago, or maybe every week or whatever it is. But this is my short injury rant again for this week. These guys are the most athletic stud specimens on the planet, right? Did some of you guys watch a few weeks ago where Will Levis, who all he does is spend time in the weight room, was going for a first down? He kind of just half dove out of bounds and, I don't know, kind of fell on his shoulder and was out for the whole game and missing multiple games. And this makes no sense to me. These guys are ripped out of their mind. They're the toughest guys on the planet, the biggest, nastiest beasts, supposed to be mentally tough. And Will Levis barely rolled on his shoulder, and he's out multiple weeks. It'd be like me tomorrow saying, I got a light cough. I'm going to be out for a month and a half. from a standard office executive job. That does not fly in the real world. Yet A.J. Brown will get a light hammy and be out a month and a half to 2 months. This makes no sense on any level. So guys like Iffy that are never on the field, they come on for a cup of coffee, make a few plays, a pick, sacks, and he's been on this football team for 4 seasons, I think. He's been hurt for 3.75 of those 4 seasons. He's never out there. When he was, we were like, oh, look at this guy. We got a pro. We got a baller. And then he has some small ailment and he's gone again. Not for a few days, missing practice. Not for a week or 2. For months. I will never understand NFL injuries, and I'm sure you could have people come on here and Okri, you don't know what you're talking about. These guys, you try to get out there and play at the NFL level with a pulled hamstring, this, that, and the other. Hey, I'm not trying to do any of that, but what I am saying is I don't understand these injuries that seem to be minor, putting people out for 4 to 8 weeks. It's only a 17-game season. How are you missing 3/4 of the game with an injury that isn't an ACL or a torn bicep or a ripped anterior cruciate ligament? I will never understand this, man. And it seems like they'd be such badasses that if something did happen to them, they'd be like, I'm good, tape me up, I'm going out there. And I feel like that's the rarity now. I don't see anybody taping it up and just rolling. I see people like getting minor dings and telling their coaches they can't go, yet their contract and their checks cash exactly the same. And they just don't play for weeks and weeks. So that seems to be going on with Iffy. Now here's another guy. It's another one of my guys, actually, Christian Mahogany. He, too, was said to have issues after the draft was over. He was one of my draft crushers, one of my guys. We took him in, round 6? Something like that. I think we stole him when he should have been like a round 3-4 prospect. We draft him. You hear a couple good things the first couple weeks of training camp, and then all of a sudden, just a mysterious, he gone, just disappears. Don't know if he's got an illness, if he's hurt, if he has some terminal disease, if his legs one is longer than the other. We don't know what's going on, but we just have not heard or seen of my boy Christian Mahogany since then. And word is he's back, he's practicing. They've opened the window on him, I believe. So they have, what is it? I should know this. I want to say it's 3 weeks, I believe, to close that window where you either play him or you IR the player. Could be less than that. Could be 10, 14 days. I don't know. But I know that Christian Mahogany hopefully is healthy for his sake, for this football team. And if he can come back and do some things, that would be nice. Give us some interior offensive line depth, as well as another nasty beast to just bully people and push people around if needed. Hopefully he's not needed if Decker and Glasgow and Ragnow and Zeitler and Penny are ready to go. So that's my injury. That's my team updates. Dan Campbell's ready to go. The players are ready to go. They cannot wait to head to Dallas and destroy the Dallas Cowboys. And just to sum it up, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this on the fly right now. I told you this team is rolling. I feel like their status is decent. I'm literally going to pull up the old Koolaid hotline right now. And let me see if I can dial up our buddy Stash in the ATL. You know, the guy that famously on the show did this.
I'm a run.
Let's see if he's got any of those in his bank, if he will pick up his phone randomly for the Koolaid Cast and talk Lions for a couple minutes. Let's try this.
Hi, I am a Google virtual assistant recording this call for the person you're trying to reach. Before I try to connect you, can I ask what you're calling about? Hello?
All right, so I have no idea who that dweeb was that answered saying he was a Google assistant or what was going on there. I mean, I don't know if they've changed settings or if Stash has some gimmick on his phone or what is going on. But here's what we're going to do, people. We're going to take a break. I want to get our great sponsors in here. And we come back after the break. I'm making another random call, not planned. I'm not going to give them heads up, whatever. We're going to dial someone up. I think he's going to pick up. I think he's going to talk about the lines and have takes, gimmicks, all types of things here on the Koolaid Cast. Everybody, please listen to our great sponsors. It really helps out the show. Thank you so much for checking us out. You got to come back after the break and see what happens, because I don't even know what's going to happen. Everybody, we'll be right back.
Prime Big Deal Days is here with exclusive savings just for Prime members.
Woohoo!
Involuntary deal squeals can happen, like the deal on travel mug squeal. The deal on a new blender squeal. Yeah! Or the classic deal on electric toothbrushes squeal.
Oh, yeah! Woo!
Save big on electronics, fashion, and more this Prime Big Deal Days. On now.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Reporting live from under my blanket, I'm Susan Curtis with Dunkin' at Home. Breaking news, pumpkin spice iced and hot coffees are back. I'll pass it to Mr. Curtis with his blanket for the full story.
That is so right, Susan. You know, it's never too early to get in a spicy mood. I'm talking cinnamony goodness that's so tasty, people don't want to leave their blankets either. Back to you.
No, back to you.
All you.
The home with Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice is where you want to be.
All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You can put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now.
Hello.
Is this the one and only Young Santa? Can you hear me?
Yeah, this is Young Santa.
This is Okri, man. How you been?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing real good. I called you out of the blue. I do happen to be live here on the show, but I wanted to check in with you to see if you got a few minutes to talk about those lines.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, I got some health concerns. Just got back from the doctors today, and they had to double me up on my sugar meds because of all the Koolaid. And the doctor told me if I don't cut back, I'm not gonna make it till a Lions Super Bowl.
Hold on, Young Santa. Your phone cut off that gimmick you just tried to pull. So you got back from the doctor because your sugar was too high with what?
Yeah, I said I had gotten a bad, had to double up on my sugar meds, my diabetes meds, and he said if I don't stop drinking so much Kool-Aid and Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid and cornbread, eating so much cornbread, I'm not going to make it to a Lions Super Bowl.
Oh man, we can't have that. We got to have you around. There's no question. So do whatever the doc says. I recommend the exact opposite, to be honest.
Drink it in, man. Cornbread.
Yeah, I know. Well, they got some Honolulu Blue Mios, the little Mio you put in your water, and they're sugar free. So I think I'm gonna have to switch to that from the regular sugar.
You got to get to that. Santa, I'm trying anything blue, all season long. There's no doubt. If it's blue, we're drinking it. Cornbread, I already told you about that. You sent me a photo at the tailgate, so you're doing your thing
we
there.
were eating cornbread, jalapeno cornbread. Oh, it was good.
Incredible, man. So here's the thing. I didn't know if I'd get you. I was just dialing people up, and you're at the top of my list. I was like, I've already done my news and notes. I did a couple rants. I feel like the team's in a good spot. So I just want to check in with you and see, like, how you feeling about the squad. And then I need, like, a big-time take on the Dallas Cowboys game coming up here.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know if I had mentioned to it. Last year, we were actually at that game.
Oh, nice.
And we were getting ready to walk out jubilant. All the Cowboy fans around us were leaving. They were filing out. We thought we had won the game, and of course, we all know what happened. And I tell you, that was one of the it was one of the most aggravating games I've ever had that I've been at. I was really angry, and I almost had to strangle a couple of elves. I was very angry, and it took me a little while to get over it, but I'm over it now.
Young Santa, you want to know why we have to have you on the show? Because I'm like listening to you, and I think you're just telling normal stories, and then you're mixing in like funny jokes and gimmicks as you go. So you need to be on more. I swear, we need to make this happen. I was just listening. I'm like, strangling elves. That's odd. And I'm like, oh yeah, I get it now. I got you. Let me ask you this. We don't need to go into the history of last year, but I want to talk about this year. Like, I haven't even done my preview. I'm probably going to go on some craziness here towards the back part of the show, but like, we're heading there again. I have not seen who the officials are. I know the Dallas Cowboys are banged up. Oh, we're so hurt. We're not winning, and the Lions are rolling. So it's like, everybody's kind of setting the excuses up already, but I say we're just going to go drop a bomb. I don't care about Dan Skipper reporting. I don't care about Taylor Decker catching a pass in this game. I just think this is a beat-down city, no mercy from Dan Freaky Campbell, and just go take our dub in Jerry World. How about you?
Well, I think if I know Dan Campbell, he's telling the team this week, we are not going into the fourth quarter only up one score. We are going to blow the doors off them, and not only are we going to beat them by at least 2 scores or more, we're going to humiliate them and grind them into powder. We're going to lower the blade. We're going to lower the blade, and we are going to absolutely just road grate them in the run game. I think that's where it's going to all start. I don't think Dallas can stop our run game. I think this could be a big Monty game, a big Gibbs game. I think they'll hit a couple big shots downfield with J-Mo, and even maybe like a Khalif Raymond a sighting, a deep shot with him. I think Patrick's going to have about 3 or 4 catches, like the kind of the Reynolds type mid-range, 15-yard ins, the deep ins and stuff like that, 20-yard ins. I think it's just going to get rolling. I expect us to score over at least 30 points. And I just don't think Dallas is going to be able to keep up. They'll get their few, shots on us and stuff. But I just think I would just talk about this. I don't want to diverge from that game, talking about Dallas, but I was just talking with an opponent's fan, Packer fan, and they were talking about how they're only a half game behind us and blah, 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 and how the NFC North is so great and how everybody's going to pass us up and we could end up in last place and this and that. I said, it's not going to happen. Because I said, the one thing that you're not looking at is, I said, Green Bay has the most turnovers in the NFL. I said, the Vikings have the second most and the Bears have the third most. The Lions have hardly gotten any turnovers so far this year. And all that stuff it's cyclical, and a lot of it has to do with luck. Way the ball bounces here and there. I said, we haven't even begun to start getting our turnovers yet. You guys have gotten all yours. Do you really think Xavier McKinney is going to have 17 interceptions by the end of the year for the Packers? And I'm like, the fact you've only won 3 games and you've gotten all those turnovers is not a good sign. The Lions have gotten hardly any turnovers, and we're still winning. What's going to happen when we start getting a lot of turnovers, when Arnold starts picking balls off and Branch comes back and he starts doing peanut punches and knocking balls out, we start getting fumbles and interceptions and tip passes, and I'm like, we're going to really be rolling. We're going to start blowing people out. I mean, we're going to start getting some blowouts in this season. So I still think we're on pace to get 12 or 13 wins at least. And I don't see us, I don't think the Vikings are going to keep going the way they are. I think they're going to end up with probably about 10 wins or so, maybe 11. But I still think we're going to have a multiple win advantage by the end of the year. And, in week 18, we'll be able to rest people if Campbell wants to rest them at the end of the year. But I also expect us to win Sunday. So, yeah, I don't know if we'll blow out the Cowboys, but I'd like to see at least a 2-score lead going into the fourth quarter. If they get a garbage touchdown at the end, a meaningless garbage touchdown, that's fine. We lose by or win by 7 or whatever. I'm fine with that. But, I think they're going to try to dominate this game and get ahead early and stay ahead for the whole way. That's what I'm thinking. That's a lot to unload, but
everybody, coming to you soon, a Detroit Koolaid Cast episode that sounds like this. Hey, everybody, it's Young Santa and Oakrey. Young Santa, how are you? And then that's the show. Then you just take it from there. You just do your thing.
A 30-minute take. I'll do a 15-minute take. Oakrey, right. You should have Chops in there. He'll do his 15-minute take, and then the show will be over.
Exactly.
It'll be
easiest,
like signing off.
Yeah, we'll just cash the checks, and you just talk. You just do takes, 30-minute takes. Now, let me ask you this. I gotta circle back because I know you're a great listener, and I'm actually catching you off guard here out of the blue, but you're nice enough to pick up and
I'm
talk
always
about
ready to
Lions.
talk Lions. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. You did that 30-minute take. Now, I got issues with it because you missed about 10 gimmicks, so I want to test your gimmickatry here.
I'm not hitting the gimmicks,
and see how you're doing. You mentioned our head coach, but you called him, I think you said Dan Campbell. I mean, is that what you really called him? You didn't say his government?
I didn't say what?
You didn't say his government name for us here on the show?
Dan freaking Campbell.
All right, exactly. Then you mentioned our running backs, and you were like, hey, Oakrey, I hope we can run it. You said something about laid down and run the ball. You didn't mention number 5 by name, and I'm very curious what name you would use if you had a choice out of the two here on the show.
Well, we got to lay down the blade with the O-line, and then we got to give the ball to D-Money.
Did you really just sell me out to Chops' goofy gimmick? You can't go with D-Mo. You went with D-Money. Did you really do that to me?
D-Money. Yep.
And then you circled into Jahmyr Gibbs, and you just were like, oh, yeah, no, Jahmyr Gibbs will get him the football. I mean, do I have to do it for you, Young Santa, or do you want to try it for the people?
I don't know if I could do it exactly the way you do. He's Jahmyr Gibbs. He's a multi-dimensional. A multi-dimensional. Wait for it. Elite weapon. Is that it?
I'll give you like participation points, but it's really only 3 words. Multi-dimensional, positionless. Yeah. You did the wait for it good, but then you got to go elite.
Yeah, I did. I forgot the positionless. That's right.
Yes. All right. So you did good there. I mean, who else did you mention that we do? Do you have a St. Brown version for us that you want to do that could turn into a drop? I don't think you can beat Stash in the ATL.
I'm a run.
I can't beat that. That's okay. I don't know. I call them hashtag Saint Beast. It's ARSB. BEAST, so it's ARS.
I like that.
But you can just call him Saint Beast.
Ooh, I like that. That's not bad. You've had a couple flops here when you've tried to send me gimmicks or say, Oakrey, you should say this. I said, oh yeah, we'll do that, and I just crumple it up and throw it in the trash.
Bro, the old bro mart. Did I do that? Oh, I always liked the big bugs. That was mine. You were doing the big denim and everything, and I was the big bugs. But now we don't talk about bugs no more because that's old news. But he's had his issues. But I always like the big bugs. Big bugs.
You did say that great. I always love the Santa jokes as well. But I like your take overall. I mean, I think that we have a lot going in this football game. There's a lot heading in our direction, the other direction. I guess my issue is the NFL. The minute you think that, oh man, we should beat this team, they're beat up, they're not playing good football, we show up and then the tables flip and you're like, what happened? Like, that's what I feel like every week when I make my picks or my fantasy team and I look at the scrub I'm playing and I'm like, oh, I'm going to beat the piss out of this guy. And then I lose by 50 somehow and my guy gets hurt in the first quarter. It's like incredible.
In the league we're in, you scored like 80-something points.
Right.
So you had a rough week this week.
It's ridiculous. Like every week is upside down in the NFL, fantasy, everything. So I think everything's pointing our way. I don't know why we don't go down there and embarrass them. No mercy, Karate Kid style, crane kick this team right in the face. But like, you just never know. You got to go play them, obviously. But I think, you mentioned number 32 for the Detroit Lions as well. My boy, Brian Branch. He should be back, which would be incredible. Frank Ragnow. We got guys on the mend heading back. So I think we just light up the scoreboard. I mean, I think you said
really
like 30.
miss Branch. They really miss Branch in that Seattle game, and you could see it. His perimeter tackling, all the little short crap dump offs that Gino completed that would have been like 2-3 yard games that ended up being 7, 8, 10, 12 yard gains. A lot of that crap, Branch cleans that up. And when he wasn't in there, man, they really missed him.
Yeah, that's why he's my boy, Brian. I mean, he's incredible. He makes plays all over the field. You hate to see a guy dinged up. Did you hear that I wore a mouthpiece in my hat to the game along with the 32 game issue jersey? I mean, people were loving it. I was like walking the concourse and people would just give me the double take like, does that dude really have a green mouthpiece stuck in his hat? Yes, I do. My boy, Brian Branch.
That's hilarious.
So, I mean, Hutchinson is getting like a pressure every 2 snaps. He's absolutely playing like a monster. So, I got this one 48-28, Santa. I got this a 20-point dub, an embarrassment. Like, this is like we're up, 10, and Dan Campbell just keeps going for it on 4th down, running trick plays, throwing the football. Like, that's what I see going down. Seriously.
Well, I had it with 4 minutes left. I had it at 38-17 Lions with 4 minutes left, and Hendon Hooker hits Jamison Williams on a bomb for a touchdown to make it 45-17.
Hashtag choppy likey.
Chops, too lazy again to come on the show, but he still gets a couple drops here and there so he can pretend he's on the show so he can get a credit.
He might not like me saying Hendon Hooker throwing a bomb at the end of a meaningless bomb, but I tell you, I think if Campbell was ever going to run up the score on a team, it would be this one. He normally doesn't do that. I think that's, he's got that classiness to him in that kind of way where he doesn't want to embarrass anybody. But I think they might just, and it isn't even Dallas's fault. I think it might be just the league in the officiating that they were so pissed. I've never seen him so pissed after that game. I mean, he was really angry.
So that's a good take and a bad one because I agree with you that he will probably take the high road, but I think there's a little something in him that wants us badly and will do a couple things that might be out of character, but like you say, maybe we don't absolutely embarrass him. Santa, did you hear the shows where I had to get after Chops about his quarterback, and then his quarterback goes 18 for 18, catches a receiving touchdown, which actually looked decent, and that's all I had to hear on the show. Brett, you probably didn't hear that show because you were one of the millions and millions that said iTunes isn't uploading the show. Where's the show? I need the show. I need my Kool-Aid. I need double-sided cornbread. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Apple iTunes, the biggest company in the entire world, can't upload our show and can't fix it. I did a rant on customer service earlier. I don't know what's going on. So,
that was last week's show. It just showed up as basically like a long intro, and the show wasn't there. I don't know what was going on with that.
Terrible. Well, I saved you from like 30 minutes of Chops going, oh, Jared Goff, oh, perfect, oh, like what about my quarterback? Oh, and I said, how many wobblies? How many just ducks did he throw? And he's just like, it doesn't matter. They were all complete. Okay, I get it. He played well.
He's the king of the accurate duck. He does throw a lot of ducks, but they're usually accurate. But the thing with him, Peyton Manning threw a lot of ducks like that too. But the thing with Goff is, the 18 for 18, that is amazing, and it probably will never be broken again. I mean, that is an amazing thing, but a lot of those passes were low risk, short dink and dunks. So, but you know what? I look at it like this because I belong to an NFC group, and everybody was saying he didn't do nothing, he didn't throw anything risky, and I was like, yeah. But you know, the thing is it's smart coaching. That's the way. See, that's the way they're going to beat Minnesota, because they go into that. I call it the death by 1,000 paper cuts offense with Goff, where he just gets rid of it so fast. It's all little dinks and dunks to Gibbs and little, you know, Amon-Ra and Laporta, and he just keeps dinking all the way down the field. And he doesn't hold the ball, and he doesn't stand back there and just get killed, you know, by rush. Because Flores, that's how you got to beat him, because he's just blitzing so much. He's insane. But Goff last year, even though everybody says he's terrible against the blitz, he was the most productive quarterback overall last year. He had the most stats, yards, I think, and TDs against the actual blitz. So he gets blitzed a lot, but he also produces a lot against the blitz. But it's all that dink and dunk. But that's a smart way to coach, you know.
Yeah,
you know, Ben Johnson knows. They know his limitations.
I'm not going to take anything away from him, because I thought about saying that too, and I do some of that just to rile up chops here on the show, but it's like,
right.
He's accurate. He runs the offense well. They tailor the offense to him. They scheme guys open. He puts the ball on players. He's getting a little bit better on some of the deeper throws. His connection with JMO has been a nice thing to see. So it's like I'm all for it. You know, like obviously everybody wants the running quarterback, the big physical player like, you know, Anthony Richardson or whatever. But it's like Jared Goff for this team right now is a general. He does enough. I liked the wobbly duck spirals a lot more at 30 million than I do at 53, but that's the going rate, and we don't want to screw up this time, because I was telling some people today, I'm like, it's this year or next year, people. Like, we are going to cash in here in the next couple of years. I'm here for it. Like, we have the team, we have the contracts.
He's in the middle of his prime too.
We're ready to go.
You know,
yeah.
For a pocket quarterback, he's right in the middle of his prime. His prime years are 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. He's 29, getting ready to go on 30. He's right in the middle of his prime. You can't get rid of him now. And, I mean, you get one of these freak athletic quarterbacks like Richardson or all that. Those guys get banged up so much. I mean, you know, you can't sit there and run read options with these guys 10, 12, 15 times a game. It just is not – they're not going to last. Look, I mean, I don't care how big and strong you are. The NFL stands for not for long when you got a quarterback – putting his head down, trying to run through 240-pound linebackers running 4.4. It just doesn't work. You know, it's not long term. It doesn't.
My favorite thing about Goff is the play action game, the way he adapts to all these new plays they put in. He's unfazed. He'll go. He likes the mentality of the fourth down that Dan Campbell does. He's willing to stick his nose, you know, run out the back end and win a game for us if need be. So it's like he does a little bit of everything you want, but what he really does is just get back there, put the ball on open players, and they do the rest. So hey,
he wins. He wins. I mean, other than 2021, when they totally tore the team down, they had basically no talent on the team hardly at all. Other than that, even when he was supposedly playing terrible in his final years, they were winning 10 games in those years. He was going to the playoffs. He won a playoff game in Seattle with a broken thumb. That was after the coach had given up on him, basically. And he still won.
And if you think about it, Detroit, that's all we want our teams. Like we're not stat city. Win the game. All aboard on that, Sandy.
Win. Yeah. I'm on the Goff train as far as the winning. You know, the winning. I mean, Stafford had all the stats. It's just he couldn't win. I mean, you know, and yeah, he won 1 year. That's my whole thing. We always get in this battle with me and Packer fans. You know, who in there, I don't know why they're so worried about Stafford. Now they're the biggest Stafford fans ever. They're saying the Rams won the Rams won the trade because they got a championship. And I'm like, they traded a king's ransom and a really good quarterback for a quarterback, and they had one great year. And I'm like, the trade, the bet isn't about the who won the trade isn't about who had one great year. It's about who's going to have a bunch of great years over a long period of time, and it's going to be the Lions. I mean, look at the Rams. They're just a shell of themselves. I mean, they have nothing going now. I mean, they're just devastated. You know, they're such a thin team. They got some good young players, but you know, they're just. I mean, Stafford's he's getting killed, man. He looks like he's about ready to just retire, in the middle of the season.
Santa,
and I always love Stafford.
Santa, let me stop you. You were at the tailgate when it was -20. We buried Matt Stafford there. We buried him before the Tampa Bay game, which me and Chops were at. That we lost this year, but we RIP'd him again for the people, which everybody loved. This time with a full casket, music, everything. We really put him down in the ground. So no need to talk about that. But let me do this. I could literally sit here for the next 2 hours. Talk lines with you, do gimmicks, try to make you laugh, enjoy each other's company. But I got to tie this up into a pod here. I'm willing, because you've been so gracious, that I'm pretty much going to leave all your stuff in, even the 30-minute take, even when you miss the gimmicks.
Oh boy!
Even the.
I want to say one more thing.
I got time.
I don't
we still
hate
got time.
Jared Goff. I don't hate him.
We still got time for it. I'm not kicking you out yet. I'm just saying I'm gonna leave this in. I appreciate that gimmick. I will get to the actual here in a moment if I can find it.
I don't hate him. I don't.
we both don't hate him. We don't. But
we don't hate him.
Here's what I want to hear from you. So they have Dak Prescott, who I've always been a fan of. He seems to put up numbers. Sometimes he loses games he should win. Other times he wins games they look like they're going to lose, like last week. Zeke Elliott has been a stiff for like 4 years. Yes, CeeDee Lamb's a stud. Okay, they have a tight end. What else do they have on offense? Not much. Defense, Parsons is going to probably not be playing. Even if he shows up, the Lions have handled him the couple times that we've faced him. Like, as long as the Zebras don't take it from us, and as long as Ben Genius is cooking on the play calling and being aggressive and running the ball with Demo and you know what he is, elite weapon. And here's the thing, like, we can beat you in so many ways. I mean, you ran it down earlier. Amon Ra. Then we got Sammy Biscuits. I mean, he's starting to come into his own there, number 87.
Laporta is going to get back to his normal self after that ankle. I really believe the first couple of games he was still getting over the hamstring, and then he rolled his ankle like week 2 or 3, and then he was trying to get over that. But I think now he's going to be a lot better.
And Santa, give me a take. How have you liked the speed, the absolute legs on Jameson Williams? This guy just flying down the field, making plays.
I think per touch, he is the most explosive and impactful receiver in the NFL amongst everybody, more than Tyreek Hill. I'm talking about a guy that can have 2 touches in a game and impact the game and wreck the game with 2 touches, just from people being afraid of, having to put somebody over the top to watch him deep. His blocking is really good. I mean, you're always got to watch for the reverse with him, on a reverse. I mean, they get more out of him with less touches than just about anybody. And that's what's great. He don't have to have, I'm going to tell you, he's going to have a game or one day, and I don't know when it'll happen, but he's going to have over 200 yards, and he's going to have like 4 touches. I'm predicting it now. I don't know when it'll happen, but it's going to happen.
Oh, there's no doubt. Easy speed. Do you love the kid?
200 yards, he'll have like 4 or 5 touches.
All right. Have you grown to love the kid, the player, the person, everything with Jameson Williams?
I've always supported. The whole time everybody was saying he was a boss, calling him Busmo and all that, I never believed it. I'm Santa Claus. I believed. I always believed in him. They were trying to get me to put a lump of coal in his stocking. I wouldn't do it. I said, no, J-Mo's going to be good. I always knew he was going to be. I'm going to tell you, this is Chop's going to hate this, but I think one of the biggest things that's held Jameson back, and I hate to say it, but because I am on the Goff train, but I think Goff he's not a good match with Jameson Williams' talents. His deep arm isn't really that great, and he outruns Goff's arm way too much. I mean, he's had so many times where he's been wide open by 10 yards, blew the defensive back away, and he's had to stop and turn around and try to come back to the ball, and it's just Goff doesn't have the arm for him. It's just he doesn't, and it's nothing against Goff. I think Goff's almost kind of admitted it. And I think Ben Johnson's kind of held Jameson Williams back a lot too, just with play calling. And they could have did what they're doing now last year, but they just didn't for whatever reason.
That might be your best take so far.
He's never been bad. What's that?
That might be your best take, as well as who cares what Chops thinks. He's not on the show. We don't have to bow to him. You talk about Jameson Williams all day with me. Santa, if you had to hashtag the guy, I mean, maybe give him a hashtag, maybe give him a slick nickname. Maybe it sounds like a diet or a workout program. I'm curious what that might be.
Well, you call him J-Mo fast. I call him Waymo fast. WAYMO fast, because he's way more faster than everybody else. So he's hashtag Waymo fast.
All right, Santa, is your goal today
and he calls
to just
himself Waymo? He calls himself Waymo, so I call him Waymo.
Yes, I know this, but I'm wondering if your whole goal, since I called you up out of the blue, was to just eliminate all of our gimmicks and add your own, and just overtop everything we built here on the show.
I'm gonna bring you a few extra gimmicks and put them under your tree on Christmas
nice.
Eve.
That is a tremendous gift. So let's end it with this. We've got. To me, the Seattle Seahawks game was my favorite game on the whole schedule because we owed them one. It was in prime time. It was in Detroit. The black jerseys were out. It was Monday Night Football. And we did absolutely everything I wanted to see. It was a fun game offensively. We played gritty defense. We beat them up. We dropped 40 on them. I mean, incredible stuff. So if I got to pick a second game, it's this game against Dallas. I already gave you my score. Normally I save it to the end. I do a whole big old thing about it. 48-28 beat down. Yes, Dan Campbell will leave and show some class, but he'll also wants to kick their ass and drop scores on them. See what I did there? So like I think this is going to be fun for Lions fans, not so much for the always crying America's team, haven't won anything in 3 decades Cowboys. How do you see it going down? Give me a score and get us out of here with some gimmickry, some energy, and a take that's, I give you anywhere between 6 to 10 minutes if you need it.
All right. I think I said it was going to be 45-17 in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes left, and Hooker was going to throw a bomb to make it 45 to J-Mo. But I don't really see that happening. I was just kind of being facetious a little bit. So I would probably say more like I would say they'll be up 2 scores. It'll be like I think it'll be about 38-24 in towards the end, and maybe Dallas gets a late garbage touchdown to bring it within 1. But so maybe 38-31, 38-24, something like that.
Who balls out for the Lions?
I think Laporta gets back to normal and has like 5 or 6 catches. Amon-Ra, he gets his minimum 6 catches. I think J-Mo will get his two catches. He'll get one like 10-12 yard in that he'll turn into a 20-yarder, and then maybe he'll get one bomb. But I got a weird feeling. I don't know why. I think they're gonna Khalif might get one. I just feel like he's been kind of like hiding. They're gonna get him out. You might even get a Brock Wright, one of those goofy where, he's on the line blocking and Goff rolls the other way and then he throws back against the grain and Brock Wright's, wide open and nobody's near him. Maybe get one of those, a long one. But I think a lot of it's going to be running. I bet you I'll be surprised if Goff throws more than 30 passes. Unless they get behind, which will be a bad sign, but I think they're going to control with the run game. I think this is going to be about a 30 rush attempt game at least. At least 30 rushes. You might even see some of the backup running backs in there this game getting a few carries.
So the Santa take is everyone on offense is going to ball out. We're going to beat them down, and then by the way, we'll play a little bit of defense too. Yeah,
I still think their defense isn't hitting on all cylinders, but it's so much better than last year. And I don't know, you've probably heard that by now. I've been saying this for a couple years now, but the whole take about everybody that plays the Lions the next week, they look like crap and they get blown out, or they just they have no juice and they have no energy. And people are trying to figure out what's going on with that. It's been like that every week this year. the team, even when we lost at Tampa the next week, they got blown out by Washington. Every team that plays us the next week, they look like crap. And, well, in Seattle this week, they got beat by the Giants at home. The Giants didn't even have Malik Nance.
Right. I mean,
obviously happening. And I think they're just so geared up to try to beat the Lions. They expend so much energy that the next week they just don't have no juice. And I don't know, we're taking everybody's best punch.
Or we just beat people up so much they don't know what to do after they face Detroit.
We literally put the Rams, I think we put 3 of their offensive linemen on IR after that game. I think Jackson, Avila, and somebody else all went on IR after that game.
Exactly. They, I mean,
that defensive line's just crumpling, guys.
We have drops for that kind of stuff here on the show.
They can't handle me. They ain't tough enough yet. I'll put him down to his knees, buddy.
I mean, Beetlejuice.
Your boy, Big Denim. He's I'll tell you, man. What a turnaround with him. It's great to see. And even the draft pick, Wingo. I'm telling you, he hasn't had any stats really, but every time he's in there, it seems like he's getting penetration. I'm like, I think he might end up being great.
Yeah, no, I like him. I like him. I mean, we just go down the roster here, Santa. Since I told you 15 minutes ago, we were trying to button up the show. We got AKA Honey Bun, AKA Twinkle Toes, AKA Plump, AKA Aleem the Dream, AKA the Mac. I mean, we got him in there. We got what's the other big body in there? I think we got a drop for him somewhere here on the old board. What's his name again? DJ.
DJ, my DJ.
Yeah. Santa, let me get to the drops. Let him breathe a little bit. I mean, you've been doing your thing. So here's the thing. I got to blow out. Santa's got to blow out. People out there listening, if you think that I texted Santa and said, hey, I'm going to call you, talk some Lions, hey, be ready at this time.
I did not know you were calling.
I literally hit record, did a few takes, and said, I'm going to just randomly call up one of our great listeners. I think he'll pick up, and I know if he does, he'll have takes for days. He'll do a few gimmicks.
You told me you were going to call me again to be on the show, and that was like November of 2023.
He also does hold a grudge.
A while.
He also holds a grudge against me because I don't supposedly do what I say. But when I told you before, I was trying to get you your own show because we need more Santa here on the show. We need more takes. You sound like Barry White on the other end of the line.
Christmas in July, right before training camp, dude. You gotta have Christmas in July.
I'm talking weekly, bi-weekly segments is what I need. I need call-ins. I need you got this Barry White voice. I don't know what you're talking on here on the other end, but you sound crispy clean. You sound good. You got takes. You know the Lions. You know the show. I mean, this is great stuff. So, Santa, hang on the line because I want to thank you, but this is about the time where I got to do the old Oakrey get out. Yep. So, before I do that, I just want to say, do you got anything else for the people?
All I got to say is, go Lions!
That's exactly what I was hoping he would do, everybody. That's what we got. We'll catch you next week right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out.
Peace out.
Pack the bags, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions. Drink it in.